Hello, dear students. Today, we are going to learn about the determination of adulterants in wheat flour. Now, why we are going to learn this wheat flour adulteration? So, basically, adulteration itself is the process which induce some abnormal changes into the healthy food. Now, we have already seen in our theory what is adulteration. Adulteration is the unexpected changes either by intentionally or by unintentionally. So, yes, types of adulteration can be distinguished with intentional adulteration or unintentional adulteration. Now, we all know that the importance of wheat and the wheat flour. So, if we are consuming wheat flour in our regular diet, then it is not easily acceptable that our wheat flour is adulterated. That's why it is very important to check that we whatever the wheat flour we are consuming is adulterated or not. So for the same, we are going to learn various concepts of wheat flour adulteration, which involve introduction to wheat and wheat flour importance to get aware about the wheat flour adulteration, to detect the adulteration in wheat flour as well as detection of adulteration in maida, which is also a form of refined wheat flour. So, we are generally focused on three important topics, that is agriculture importance of wheat, role of wheat flour in diet, as well as how can we determine the adulterants in wheat flour. So let's move towards the first point, that is agriculture importance of wheat. Now, as I have already told you that wheat flour is consumed in India on daily basis. Many families consume wheat flour twice in a day regularly. It means that we are almost depending upon the wheat flour. Okay, and as we are depending upon the wheat flour, our Indian economy also affect with the wheat production. So wheat is the one of the greatest crop regularly harvested in India. That's why it is contributing the major economy to India. The second thing is that the best of the cereal food. Wheat is the best of the cereal food and it provides more nourishment for humans than any other food source. Wheat is the major diet component because the wheat plant agronomy's adaptability, ace of grain storage, we can store it very easily because it is non-perishable. It spoiled, it take too much time to get spoiled. It is very easily converted into the flour and the other products. That's why wheat plays very important role. Now, when moving towards the nutritive value of wheat, 100 grams of wheat contain almost 332 kilocalories, multiple essential nutrients like protein, dietary fiber, manganese, phosphorus, and niacin. All these things are essential for the human health metabolism. We can see from this image that how that wheat flour is important. Now here there is a calculation of 100 grams of wheat flour. That 100 grams of wheat flour, as I have already told you, contain 332 kilocalories. Apart from calories, it also contain very essential vitamins as well as the minerals. We can see that from this image, which is obtained from the Herbazest, the B3, B1, B5, B2, B6, B9 and vitamin K can be obtained from the healthy wheat flour. Whereas talking about the minerals, various minerals like manganese, copper, zinc, serin, iron, potassium, magnesium, phosphorus, calciums are also obtained from the same wheat flour. And whenever we are talking about the biomolecules, so as we know that wheat flour contains lots of carbohydrate, total fats, dietary fibers, and protein. So, this is how the wheat flour is important nutritionally to provide the nutrition. So, as the wheat flour is rich with nutrient content, it is playing very important role in our regular diet. It provides the insoluble fibers. This type of fibers are very important for the metabolism and proper digestion of the food. Whenever we consume the wheat, it means that we are consuming the fibers which help us to avoid the constipation like complaint. Whole wheat flour or wheat bran, nuts, beans, vegetables such as cauliflower, green beans, as well as potatoes are very good source of insoluble fiber. Wheat flour also contain various type of vitamins and minerals which we have already seen, as well as wheat flour having low glycemic index. Low glycemic index means what? The patient who are suffering from diabetes can consume the wheat flour because the glucose synthesis can be in control after consuming of that wheat flour. So this is what the importance of wheat flour. Now, as this wheat flour is that much important, then we must have to determine if the wheat flour is pure or not. Because if the wheat flour contain too much amount of nutrients, but with that nutrients, if it contain the other unwanted chemicals or unwanted material, it means that we are allowing poison to eat inside our body. That's why it is very important to detect the presence of adulteration into the wheat flour. Now, wheat flour can be adulterated or diluted by various ways. Involvement of boric acid, the chalk powder, and sometimes maida are the dominant factors through which the wheat flour get adulterated. Wheat flour or atta like a must have for every Indian household. It is very important to check atta or maida, presence of atta or maida for adulteration to prevent health issues, because all these adulterants which are involved in wheat flour adulteration are prone to be carcinogenic. So let's move towards the determination of adulteration. Now students, these type of determinations are very easy. We can perform it in our laboratory, as well as we can also perform it in, some determination techniques we can also perform at our home also. So generally the atta which is already packed, which is already prepared, are generally adulterated by various ways, and there are various techniques through which we can determine the adulteration. So first of all, the technique is determination of chalk powder and washing soda in wheat flour. The second one involve detection of sand or dirt in a wheat flour. And the third one, that is detection of iron filling in wheat flour. Now the question is, why actually the wheat flour is getting adulterated? Now this is the main thing, that wheat flour is needed on regular basis, means in large quantity, and to obtain more and more benefit economically, the wheat flour is getting adulterated. So let's move towards the first technique, that is detection of chalk powder as well as washing soda in wheat flour. Now for this technique we need the HCl, that is hydrochloric acid. Now as we are dealing with the hydrochloric acid, we must have to be careful, as it can cause the burns as well as it is also the corrosive agent. So the diluted HCl we are going to use to detect the washing soda in the wheat flour. Then we contain pasture pipette, dropper, reagent, diluted HCl, and the dilution of the HCl is 1:1, means one part of HCl is diluted the same part equal amount of the distilled water. See, 1:1 dilution means that 50-50% of the amount HCl as well as water. So whatever the amount you are taking, for example, if you are taking 10 ml of HCl, means you have to dilute it with the 10 ml. So 10 divided by 10 is equal to 1:1 dilution. So this is how we are making the dilutions. And the lime water. See, it is not every time necessary that use lime water, but if we use the lime water, then we can detect our observation very easily by observing the color change. So let's move towards the procedure. The procedure, as I have told you, it is very easy. So the first thing is that take a small amount of wheat flour in a test tube. We can take 2 to 3 grams of the wheat flour in a test tube. Then add diluted amount of few drops of HCl. Whisk effervescence or bubbles indicate the presence of chalk powder or washing soda into the wheat flour. So if we are able to observe the effervescence or bubbles inside the test tube, it means that the wheat flour is definitely adulterated with the soda, caustic soda, washing soda, or the chalk powder. Now to confirm it, we can add the lime water into it. So confirm test by bubbling the gas into the lime water. whatever the effervescences are there, that effervescences are because of the production of gas. So if we allow to pass this gas to the lime water, the color of the lime water will change from transparent to the cloudy. So that cloudy appearance of lime water confirms that yes, the wheat flour is adulterated. So this is what the interference is. The effervescence appears and lime water becomes cloudy or milky, indicates the presence of chalk powder or washing soda into the given sample. That sample can be wheat flour or can be maida. So this is one technique. Now the another technique is that detection of sand or dirt in a wheat flour. Okay, so for this technique also we are using carbon tetrachloride, which can be act as a carcinogen. That's why we must have to careful when dealing with this type of chemical. We should not directly inhale or directly touch to this chemical. So avoid spilling as well as inhalation of solvent vapors. So there are few apparatus which need for the detection of sand and dirt, which involve measuring cylinder reagent carbon tetrachloride. Now let's move towards the procedure. So first of all, weigh 5 grams of the sample or wheat flour in a beaker. Then add 20 ml of carbon tetrachloride very carefully. See students, we have to add it by the side of the side wall of the beaker. We should not directly add the carbon tetrachloride inside the from the middle of the beaker. Okay. After adding carbon tetrachloride, allow it to stand and then observe the debris at the bottom of the beaker. Now we are taking only 5 grams of wheat flour and we are adding 20 ml of the carbon tetrachloride, means the liquid level is definitely high, and because of that the settlement of debris can be observed visually. So sand as well as filth will collect at the bottom of the beaker, which gives us the presence of adulterants into the wheat flour. So this is the another impurity which can be detected with the help of carbon tetrachloride. First one, we have seen the use of HCl. Now the next one is detection of iron filling or tea leaves in iron filling in tea leaves as well as wheat flour. Now iron, because of its color, the rust, it is very easily available from soil from various industries. So it can be easily dumped inside the wheat flour to get more and more economic benefit. So for detection of iron fillings in a wheat flour, the powerful bar magnet can be used. Now it is following a very basic principle that magnet attracts the iron, right? So whenever we are just doing the experiment of magnet and iron, so magnet always attracts the iron. So that's why we are using the powerful magnet bar. The procedure is also very simple. Spread 50 to 100 grams of tea leaves or suji or wheat flour evenly on a clean paper. Then run a bar magnet repeatedly over the spreaded sample. Then iron fillings, if present, will cling to the magnet. As I have told you, magnet always attract the iron. That's why if the iron fillings are there, it will definitely cling to the magnet bar. Iron filling, if present, will cling to the bar magnet, indicates the presence of the presence of iron like adulterants into the wheat flour. Now, the another adulterant is the boric acid. Boric acid is also added inside the wheat flour to dilute it and to increase its concentration. So, to check the presence of boric acid, we can use turmeric indicator paper as well as concentrated HCl. Now, how can we make that turmeric indicator paper? So, turmeric indicator paper can be prepared by dipping a strip of filter paper. We can use the simple filter paper or the Wattman filter paper in a turmeric solution. The turmeric solution contains 1 gram of turmeric in 4 ml of ethanol. Let it stand for some time and then filter in from the ethanol, and the another reagent we use, that is concentrated HCl. So let's move towards the experiments. How can we perform or how can we detect the presence of boric acid? So first of all, take 1 gram of sample in a test tube. That sample must be the wheat flour. Add 5 ml of water and shake it very well. Add few drops of concentrated HCl. Dip a turmeric paper strip and observe color change of turmeric paper. If the turmeric paper changes to red, boric acid is present. If the turmeric paper do not get changed, it indicates the absence of boric acid. So these are the processes through which we can detect different types of adulterants present into the wheat flour. Now, after understanding the concept of adulteration, the importance of wheat flour, as well as various techniques to determine the presence of adulterants into the wheat flour, I am giving you two assignments. These two assignments involve uh, writing a short note on adulteration, its type, and specific adulteration into the wheat flour. Along with that, you have to write down various processes which also involved to detect the adulteration in wheat flour. So this is the assignment of yours. So let's take the summary. First of all, we have seen that how that wheat flour is important agroeconomically also, and in our regular diet also, how that wheat flour contain various nutrients through which we can get more and more nutrient benefit, we can get a very healthy metabolism. And lastly, we have seen very easy steps how can we detect the presence of adulterants into the wheat flour. So it is our major duty, it is our duty to check that whatever we are allowing inside our body is very precious, and whatever we are allowing material inside our body, it must be pure, because any impurity can single impurity can cause a major defect in healthy individual. So this is what about the wheat flour as well as wheat flour adulteration. Thank you.